Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Sergei Shoigu, the former Minister of Defense of the Russian Federation, is out. So remember, one of Putin's friends and puppets is out. And another guy is in, a civilian. I have here about, 10 or 11 articles coming from the West, coming from the Russians, coming from the center, from the Ukrainians, telling us who the new guy is and why Shoigu was fired. Now, let's put it this way, or let's put it removed. President Putin, the guy Putin, was elected, correct, as the Russia's president. All right, when he was elected, he is appointing his cabinet. That's what they do. That's how the process is in Russia. The same is in the United States of America. When, let's say, the next president comes into office, or even if, let's say, Biden wins a second term, he's going to change, reshuffle. He's going to probably pick a different cabinet. Like, I don't know, the education secretary is going to be different, or he's going to tweak things. I think it's partly this. Putin reshuffles his government. That's one. And the other one, maybe something else. But let me show you what the media says and how they take on this. What kind of interpretation they give to a normal procedure. You say, well, yeah, but Shoigu was over there for some time. So, if Shoigu would have been still a defense minister, the media would have said, oh, see, these guys are tyrants, dictators. Now that Shoigu is out, what happened? All right, let's dive into this one. The first article comes from, I picked from CNN. Putin replaces Russia's defense minister with a civilian as Ukraine war rages and defense spending spirals. So here is the person who replaced Sergei Shoigu. And his name is Andrei Belousov. And they say, with a civilian. Do you remember, and if you don't, I remind you, or if I let you know, do you remember when Shoigu was the defense minister of the Russian Federation, what these guys, just to say shit, were saying? Well, Shoigu is a engineer, a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer. What kind of warrior he is? He doesn't have any military experience. And now they tell us that this guy is a civilian. So which one is it? If Putin would have appointed a general, they would have said, see, something wrong here. But I will show you how Shoigu doesn't, how should I put it, is not out of the norm. Not Shoigu, the new Russian defense minister is not out of the norm. Because if you take Great Britain, and I looked and I will show you, if you take France, if you take Ukraine, you're going to find out that none of these guys have actually have a military experience. I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you the comments of Mr. Shapps, the current British defense minister, who's not a military guy, but he is British. All right, let's go to the next article. This comes from Business Insider, and it says, Putin's latest political move shows Russia's wartime economy is here to stay. Okay. First question, why? Well, the imbecilic answer is because they're bad. Can you see? They invaded Ukraine unprovoked. Okay, that's garbage. We already know that. So, could it be because of partly of you? No. Let's say someone tells you that he's going to take your wife away, or your property, your car, your something. What would you do? It's all right. Wouldn't you prepare for that? I think that's exactly what you would do. So if you look at the Russians, they maybe react to what you're doing. So if this guy puts arms on its territory and around the border and invades a country unprovoked, maybe he was afraid of something. He was getting ready for something. So I think part of the reason why they are putting this Russia's in the war economy is because of you as well. I'm talking about the guys who are now, oh my God, what's going on over here? It's a reaction. So let's see what these guys are saying. Russian President Vladimir Putin is replacing his defense minister with a civilian economist. Oy vey. Andrei Belosov will lead Russia's military-industrial complex as Putin prepares for a protracted war. Why is it protracted? Is it because you send weapons over there? And you have some, how should I put it, the banking system, your military-industrial complex, and the energy sector making big profits? And those guys are a little bit involved in your political system. Isn't that why? I think so. Partly. The move shows Russia's wartime economy has become a key pillar of growth. Well, they're ready. Why? Who pushed them over there? Nothing. It's just Putin who's crazy. That's the narrative. Now, the next one, the Telegraph. Putin's choice of new defense minister shows he's preparing for confrontation with the West. Confrontation as aggressor or a person who's just a victim defending itself? Now, obviously, here is however you choose to look at it, because we know that could be viewed from the middle. You don't have to be on left or on the right side, but if you look in the middle, you also will realize that the truth is somewhere closer to the middle. It's not that the Russians are 100% true about what they're doing. It's not that the other guys are 100% true at what they want to do. I'm talking about NATO and the interests in charge of NATO, United States of America, European Union, and so on. But I can't say, well, wait a minute, the Russians are clean. Well, there's no such a thing unless you are a saint. Move on. Next article. Ukrainska Pravda. Putin replaced Shoigu from defense minister position to support protracted war in Ukraine. What they're supposed to do? Lay down and die? Of course, yes, all right. That's exactly what they're going to do. But I want this Institute for the Study of War, which is garbage. I'm going to mention each and every time when I cover anything, and that's about it. I'm going to cover what they say in this article. The Institute for the Study of War, it's supposedly it is a think tank located in Washington, D.C. The boss, the director of this Institute of the Study of War, is married with a guy called Keegan. They're all Jewish, I'm talking about here. So she's Jewish, then Keegan, go and check it out, I made videos on this. This guy, Keegan, is the brother of another Keegan, a guy. And this guy, Keegan here, is married to whom? Ooh, look at that. He's married to who? Yeah, celebration. To whom? To Victoria Nuland, another Jewish. So there's 4 guys over there. So the person in charge of the Institute for the Study of War is related to Victoria Nuland. She is the sister-in-law of Victoria Nuland through the marriage of the brothers. So spare me. And Zelensky is also a Zelensky Stein. And Shmihal is another Zelensky Stein. And Yermak, all these guys are in charge of Ukrainian nation. So don't fucking connect any dots. Any. And Grant Shapps, the defense minister of United Kingdom, is also a Scot. He's a Scottish guy, man. I'm sorry, he's an Irish. Oh no, he's a Welsh. No, he's an English. None of this. Do you see anything? Don't you ever try to see anything. Don't connect any dots. Let's move on. So the next one would be an article from the New Voice of Ukraine. And again, Shoigu is out as Russian defense minister after 11 years. Now, if Putin would have kept the guy, see, tyranny, dictatorship, buddy. His appointment has no military experience. Oy vey, here it is. No military experience. But let me show you some Wikipedia little pages of the guys who also don't have any military experience. Let me just show you. Let's start with Sergei Shoigu, who indeed, is right here. Mr. Shoigu is a Russian politician and military officer. So he's a military officer who has served as Secretary of the Security Council. And we find out that he graduated with a degree of civil engineering. And they said, what does he know? He's a civil engineer, what the hell? Well, they say here that he's a military officer. Well, how much experience he's got, I don't know, but let's go to this one. At least this is Russian. Oh, Grant Shapps, my favorite. So this guy, who is the current, right here, Secretary of State of Defense since August 2023, the same. He has no fucking, he's a politician. This guy At least, how should I put it? At least this guy is Russian. What are you? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's move on. We got Rustem Umerov. This guy is the defense minister of Ukraine, the one that we love. Well, what is he? What is he doing? So this guy right here, we find out that he is also an engineer, chemical engineer. Where are you, baby boy? Where are you, chemical engineer? Come on, come on. I know I already looked over you. Right here. Was a chemical engineer. So a chemical engineer with a whatever civil engineer with a cocksucker engineer. We go to the next one. Sebastien Lecornu, the French Minister of Armed Forces. Right here. What is he? Well, he is, let me show you. He was, right here, he's a member of the National Gendarmerie. You know what? Gendarmerie, a police officer, a guy who keeps the how do you call it, the street safe. So you got the police and you got the gendarmerie. Gendarmerie is like the guy that beats you up if you protest and you become a little bit rowdy. That's gendarmerie, and they can arrest you. So he's not a military. He's a police officer, not even a police officer, something like that, close to. So spare me with this garbage. Oh, he's a civilian. The only thing is we have a non-civilian in the United States of America, Mr. Lloyd Austin, who's a general, but he was on the board of directors of Raytheon, a arms contractor that makes business, does business with a lot of Pentagon contracts. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got a military guy over there who was on, but hey, there's no conflict of interest whatsoever, man. Like the campaign donations in the United States of America. That's campaign donations. If you do that in real life, that's called bribery. But hey, in our system is campaign donation. But hey, I'm not done here. Let me show you here. This imbecile, this English guy, I'm going to keep going with this. This English guy, or Scot, or Irish, or Welsh, whose his name is Grant Shapps, right? Your defense minister, my friends from Great Britain, right? He says that, right here, and I'm quoting, another of Putin's puppets, UK Defense Secretary of Russian Defense Minister replacement. So this Shapps, right here, he says that the new defense minister of the Russian Federation is another Putin's puppet. So do you think that Shapps was appointed as a defense minister of Great Britain because he is an enemy of the guys in charge of Sunak or the whoever is in charge over there? No, he's a puppet of someone, isn't he? I mean, it's idiotic to say, but they use this word every time a country that they don't like appoints someone. It's a puppet. Of course that guy is a guy that the guy in charge wants. That's his boy. It's like Biden will get, what's his name, Stephen, what the hell is his name now? Stephen Miller, a guy that I like. He's Jewish. I like him. Stephen Miller. Let's say Biden gets Stephen Miller as an advisor at the White House. Would you see that? No, because Stephen Miller is not with this guy, at least as far as I know. So you don't get people from people that are not supporting your administration. That's why you hire them, to support you. They're your guys, your boys. So what is this guy talking about? At least, as I say, Shoigu and the other guy are, Russians. Umerov is not Ukrainian. I mean, he's Ukrainian because he's a Tatar. Like I am, American, right? I am American by citizenship, but no, I'm Romanian. I was born there. But nevertheless, the United States of America is not the norm. It's a special, situation. So the norm is the other one. Like in Germany, you would have a German president, chancellor, defense minister. No. In Israel, you would have an Israeli. In Iran, you would have in Romania, you would have a Romanian. But now you don't have that. Why? Diversity. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's interesting that Ukraine has in charge, and I made 2 or 3 videos on that, has in charge non-Ukrainians. Non-Ukrainians. I gave you 4. The most important guys, I think, in that country are 5 are not Ukrainians. I mean, you can look at them at that, as I am American, but remember, Ukraine is not United States of America. It was not formed through settlers coming over there and forming a country of a certain kind, and then they accepted immigration. It's not like that. Ukraine is a tribe over there, clear tribe. But no, it's not. And they have what? Zelensky Stein, then you have the prime minister appointed by Zelensky Stein, who is Zhmihal Stein, and then you have Umerov, which was the defense minister, he's a Tatar. Then you have the chief of staff of president's office, who is Yermak Stein, another one. Then you have the Russian defense minister, the Russian general Alexei Syrsky. Is that Alexei Syrsky? He's Russian. So you tell me the Ukrainians, where are they? Back, somewhere below these guys. Thank you very much. And only one person was elected. The rest were appointed by whom? By the guy who was erected, by Zelensky Stein. I'm not done here. Let me show you something else. So the thing with he's a puppet. Yeah. I appoint someone who is with me and he's gonna do what the fuck I tell him to do because I'm his boss. I don't want to have problems with that guy. So should be my puppet if you want to look that way at things. So let's see what the Russians are saying about this, right? So Kremlin explains the decision to change defense minister. Conflicts are won by those who are open to innovation, presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov said. That means we drained you of your abilities, we're going to get new guys with new ideas, new visions. A proposal by Russian President Vladimir Putin to replace Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu is aimed at more deeply integrating the defense industrial base with the national economy. Clear? We're getting ready for a long haul with the West. You keep bringing weapons and whatever you bring to Ukraine, we're going to get ready for you. We adjust, we adapt. Amid a cabinet reshuffle, the Federation Council announced on Sunday evening that Shoigu would be removed as defense minister, a post he had held since 2012, and that Putin has proposed replacing him with acting first deputy prime minister Andrei Belousov. Speaking to the reporters, Peskov said Belousov would be the best person to deal with the financial issues now facing the military. Clear? Clear. He says, Belousov is a trained economist, has worked for the government in various capacities, but until now dealt with civilian matters only. Okay. And after all, that's Russia's will. Next. And the last one, Sputnik. Who is Andrei Belousov, Putin's candidate for Russia's Minister of Defense? Here is the guy, I already told you, he's an economist, civilian, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, the dogs can keep barking, but the caravan keeps moving on. The same here. This guy say, hey, he's a civilian, why is he doing that? Now, could that be something about the corruption? That someone in Sergei Shoigu's little group was just removed? Could that be? Yeah, could that be? Do I have any evidence? No, I don't have. Will it come? If there is, yeah, it will come. That's it. And that's about it. It's like tomorrow, let's say, what's his name? Biden removes, let's say, Mark Milley, right, from his position of, oh yeah, he removed him. Oh yeah, what the fuck was that? And the replaced one is his name is Brown. Not James Brown, Brown. And what's his name? The defense minister. So Brown is the military of the army, if I remember correctly. Brown, the new guy. He's not the Air Force. And Brown is the Air Force? No, Brown is another one who's got the Air Force. So yeah, it's full of these guys over there. But hey, they are somehow, how do you call it, discriminated against. Like, you know, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.